Are vegan campaigners shamelessly shaming meat eaters into a turkey-free Christmas? We're joined now by Jennifer White from PETA, who says, there are so many vegan alternatives, there is no need to sacrifice millions of turkeys. And Liz Webster, a farmer from Save British Farming, who says, don't make us feel guilty about our food choices. Very good morning to both of you. Jennifer,
morning.
It is a shameless attempt to get children to say to their parents, we can't eat turkey this Christmas. Is it fair?
Well, anyone who feels ashamed or guilty after watching this really sweet video needs to take some time to think and reflect about why that is. And, you know, from an outside perspective, I would say it's because they're starting to join the dots. They're realising it's not just a piece of meat to serve up at dinner time. This is from a living being who had a desire to live, who had family bonds. And, you know, I would urge anyone who does have those feelings to turn them into actions and try something vegan this Christmas. It is so simple.
What we've had a lot from our viewers who are very much against this campaign is, look, as Mark says, I don't preach to vegans that they should eat meat, so why are they preaching to me to not eat meat? I'm very much looking forward to my beef and turkey, and that's one of the things that you constantly come up against is, if you want to be vegan, if you want to be vegetarian, that's absolutely right, that's your choice. But don't make us feel guilty about the fact that we don't want to be doing
Well,
that.
first, I am not making you feel guilty. As I said, if that's how you're feeling, you need to address that.
Don't you
and
think
make
that there's part of that advert is to try and make people feel a little bit guilty?
What we're doing, we are not telling people what decisions to make, but we are helping people make informed choices. And this video is helping people to join the dots. We also have hours of animal cruelty footage from British farms, which shows the reality for these animals. And if you cannot sit down and stomach watching that for more than a few seconds, then you should not be buying animal flesh.
Well, it's interesting. I don't eat turkey. I don't eat meat. But that cartoon video isn't really enlightening anybody, is it? It's very deliberately a guilt trip. You know, it's making the turkey a cute little character.
Toby represents 10 million turkeys who are slaughtered at Christmas time alone in the UK. And if we're honest with ourselves, there is a disconnect here. We are celebrating the season of peace and goodwill with the corpse of a tortured bird in the middle of the table.
Liz, that's quite a thought to stomach, isn't it, when you sit around your Christmas turkey? I can imagine what your response will be. Well, never mind save the turkeys, save the farmers. Is that what you're worried about?
It's about everyone's food and the food chain. You know, if we don't farm animals, then we don't have the soil that we need and the fertiliser that we need. It's the food chain. And our climate in Britain is very specific. We have a lot of grass and a lot of rain, and we're very suited to livestock farming. And if we all care about the environment and feeding our people, specifically, you know, especially when there's a war right now and food is really under, it's under a lot of risk and it's shrinking globally. So we need to eat food that's locally produced and is sustainable. And food which comes from an animal is sustainable. They turn grass into protein. It's healthier for us. It's not processed. And so it all fits together. And if we focused on the end of a life of anything, a dog or even people that we love, of course, you'd end up, if we didn't farm animals, there wouldn't be any turkeys.
But you can't compare, we can't compare a family pet to mass-produced,
But we are in this video.
Yeah.
We are. And that's the problem. And, you know, yes, you know, we farm animals, and it is sad on the day that the animals go out. We feel sad. We love our animals. But if we didn't farm them, they wouldn't exist. And they have a job to do, you know, and there's lots of byproducts that come from those animals.
Jennifer, they are part of the food chain. I mean, I have enormous sympathy because, as I say, I don't eat meat. But I don't criticise people for eating meat because it is normal and natural for human beings at the top of the food chain to eat those animals.
Tradition is never an excuse for cruelty, and just because something has been done for hundreds of years does not mean that it needs to continue. And I feel Liz was using quite a lot of buzzwords there, and sustainability, which just really threw me off because...
Is it the cruelty of the farming and the slaughtering that you're worried about, or is it simply the fact that you don't think we should eat animals at all?
Oh, I mean, they are both obviously linked. I mean, animals should not be bred to be slaughtered, even if an animal had a great life on a farm, which we know is not the case because we have that evidence on the PETA
But you can't
website.
farm
You are
without livestock because
that is a myth.
Provides this,
that is an absolute myth.
Especially right now,
farm.
fertiliser, because of the Ukraine war, is in crisis.
Supply, yeah.
So we need actually more natural fertiliser than ever. But it's still so fundamental to growing food. But in this country, we're not like Asia, where you've got warm weather all of the time. And for families right now, with the cost of living crisis, a turkey is an affordable...
Turkeys are incredibly expensive.
It's
you can get a vegan turkey for cheaper than you can get an animal flesh
which feeds many people. And it is a tradition. And absolutely, if you want to buy a vegan turkey, it's your choice. But I don't think anyone should feel guilty. In fact, I feel proud about eating meat because it means that our farms, we have the best farms in the world here. We farm to such a high standard, and we have farmed on these islands since the Neolithic period. And I feel absolutely proud to be part of that.
It's concerning if Britain is said to have a high standard. If you go to PETA's website and watch that cruelty footage for yourself,
but if we don't produce meat here, it comes in from Brazil and Australia and America, where they have the most awful super farms. So we absolutely must promote British farming.
Yes, and PETA supports British farmers, but we support ones who are growing crops like oats, pulses, grains,
how do we grow enough crops
for
everybody in this country?
Grown because, fair enough, we cannot grow them outside 365 days a year, but we can grow them inside. And when you consider that a vast majority of livestock in the UK,
you want to grow them inside and use energy and make buildings.
Do you know that the majority of animals are farmed inside, especially during the ongoing bird flu epidemic? Birds are not getting so much as a breath of fresh air at the moment. There are entire turkey farms who have been taken out by this bird flu. It is not sustainable. The United Nations has said we need to move away from a 90% decrease in the amount of meat that people are eating. So how you can say that farming is sustainable is...
Because the cost of living crisis now, food is going up and up and up. Our inputs have been actually at about 30% in the last year. And, you know, the retailers are going to be catching up with that fast. Food is becoming shorter in supply. It's becoming more expensive. And if we see our people hungry, you know, we're 7 meals away from anarchy here. So it is about being responsible, about making sure...
What do you mean by 7 meals away from anarchy?
Well, that's what... As people get hungry, if there's not enough food... You know, we've seen it in Sri Lanka recently with inflation out of control and not enough food. And then, you'll end up in a very fractious situation.
So the premise is, if you miss 7 meals, then society breaks down so considerably than...
And at the moment, the food supply here is... we've got Brexit, which has cut us off from Europe. And that is giving us... We've got less food coming in from Europe, and we're producing less food because of all of the difficulties with COVID, Ukraine and Brexit. Food supply and food security is absolutely essential.
OK, Jennifer, I just want to ask, I wonder how many people do you think presumably if you've got a target, how many people do you expect to turn with the advert?
Well, it seems like Toby is breaking a lot of hearts because the response that we've had to this video has been immense. We've seen people going and ordering more vegan starter kits. All you have to do is go into the supermarket as well. You can get a vegan turkey crown. You can get vegan pigs and blankets. You can get vegan goose fat for your roast potatoes. There is something for everyone. And all it takes to have all that nostalgia and taste of the traditional Christmas meal, and you can have it, but just without the cruelty.
Lots of people getting in touch, as you can imagine. MJB says it's not about guilt, it's about doing what is right. Join the dots. No animal wants to die just so humans can eat them. It's not preaching. No one can possibly think it's OK to slaughter animals, birds on the scale that humans do. It's cruel and it's wrong. Donna, she says, I became a vegan because of my concerns for animal welfare, the way they were treated. When I buy meat for my husband, I only buy organic and from sources where I know the animals have been well cared for. I don't agree with the vegan protests and believe we have the right to choose what we eat.
Oh, but there are a number of people. Andrea, vegan is a lifestyle choice. Don't throw it in the face of others. Kayla, if you want to be vegan, that's your choice. Stop ruining everything for the rest of us. Samantha, I think vegans should leave us alone at all times of year. Jez, vegans can mind their own business. I'm not going vegan or veggie for anyone. I want turkey for Christmas. Jennifer?
I mean, it's the season of kindness and goodwill, and all we are encouraging people to do is choose meals which show peace on earth to animals as well. There is an option out there for everyone. It's better for the planet, better for your health, and it saves everyone who goes vegan saves up to 200 animals a year from a trip to the slaughterhouse.
It is.
Look, be proud of eating British food. Buy food which is local and sustainably reared, and don't feel guilty about it. Feel good about it. The food chain really matters.
Thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you.
Having seen the advert now, or part of it, let us know what you think. Did
Has
it
it changed
change your mind? Exactly.